Welcome to an overview of the lesson plan development specific to the ELFs, the Delaware Early Learning Foundations, and we're going to look at preschool. This is an assessment review specific to the individual assignment that will be completed, and this is a precursor to your teaching team lesson plan development for your pro-social lesson plan. Okay, let's dive in. If you've taken ECE 111 in nutrition safety or any of your early childhood methods courses, then you have an understanding of how to create a lesson plan for a specific academic subject, creative arts, or developmental domain. In this class, we're going to focus on creating lesson plans to help children with their social emotional development, and your pro-social group activity will showcase how you can teach one of these skills. Again, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to look at the DELFs, the Delaware Early Learning Foundations. This is the same tool that you do utilize to identify your standards for writing lesson plans. Your focus for your lesson plan will be 3 to 5-year-old children. So to start, you'll already see that there's quite a few highlights on this document, and you'll find as we scroll down, you'll be able to connect the pink and green and blue to other aspects of this document that you will be completing independently. Again, this is an individual assessment that you'll submit. It's a precursor to your team social emotional lesson plan. Teams may choose to identify the same subdomain for social emotional, or you could take it from a different direction. You could each do something different and then come together as you're developing your lesson plan. That's up for you and your team to decide, and it is another thing to connect about. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to identify one subdomain for social emotional learning. And then you're going to think about what skills are you going to focus on to help the children with. You're going to brainstorm a list of ideas for activities that promote those skills, and you'll do 5 total quick activity ideas, 1 or 2 sentences at max. And then you're going to develop specific activities that you could use to promote this subdomain even further in the curriculum of your preschoolers. Each of those activities will be expanded to 3 to 5 sentences in length. Okay, so a short paragraph. Prior to submitting this assignment, as you do always, take time to review your responses for spelling and grammar, and always ensure that your name is included on the document. One more reminder that's not on this in writing is please make sure that you're submitting a Word document. The Delaware Early Learning Foundations for Preschool is hyperlinked right on this document. But what we're going to do next is we're going to take a look at this brief screenshot. So this is one of the social emotional development subdomains. And you can see social emotional development is one of many that are included in the DELFs. So looking at social emotional development specific to your pro-social lesson plan. It will be helpful for you to not only look and decide which subdomain. In this case, we're looking at self-concept, right? But also look at the children's preparation for kindergarten, families, and the programs that will provide children the opportunity. Okay, then you go from your subdomain down to your individual criterion. For example, SE 31, be with adults who are inconsistent, responsive, and caring. Another one, if we come down to the bottom, SE 34, is assume a role of determining how they will learn. This middle column has you asking what you might see the children doing, okay, in alignment with the subdomain of self-concept. So you're going to see them show pride in accomplishments. You're going to have them, they're going to show ability to adjust to new situations, be flexible. You also might see them standing up for themselves, so standing up for their rights. And then the final column, things to be thinking about as you're developing your descriptions of the activities, what adults can do to support a child's development. So greet the child on arrival, call them by their name. I would say getting down to the child's level. Communicating at the child's eye level is the next one, right? If we scroll down a little bit more, invite families into the classroom. That's something that we talked about in class as well. Okay, so again, this is language, continuing language from the subdomain of self-concept that may be helpful as you're developing these activity descriptions. Okay. And again, you're going to click on the hyperlink for the Delaware Early Learning Foundation specific to preschool to support the completion of this assignment. Please make sure that you put your full name at the top. And then you're going to choose one of the following subdomains. One, either self-concept, which is what we just looked at, self-regulation, which is on the following 2 pages, or social relationships and cooperation. Right? It may also be helpful for you at this point to look at the pro-social lesson plan assessment supplement. What does that next step assignment ask you to do? What are some of the pro-social concepts that are potentially going to be taught in your pro-social lesson plan? Okay. So again, this is an example. There is partial examples that are in blue font. And then there is one full example for you. So just to reiterate, you're choosing one of these 3 subdomains. So for this example, the student chose self-concept, which we also looked at above. Summary of the skills. What is self-concept? Define it. Okay, what is it? Use your textbook. Take a look at the information that's posted in our Read Watch materials. And then you're going to jump down, and this is the activity brainstorm. Remember, 1-2 sentences. Really quick, just brainstorming, okay? An activity to help build self-concept for 3 and 5-year-olds could be another activity. And here they included their 5th, and these are the beginning language for what they wrote. Now you're going to dive a little bit deeper. This is where you're writing 3 to 5 sentences each. And you'll see below that several of these are partial examples. The dramatic play is a full descriptive example. It is for the purpose of reference only and should not be copied or paraphrased. We want this in your own words. Think about your personal, professional experiences with preschoolers, children that are 3, 4, and 5, and that goes up to pre-K kids. So in circle time, right? And I left some wording here for you so that you could kind of get it kick-started. Let's look at dramatic play because this is the full example. During dramatic play, children can develop self-concept skills by playing different real-world games or role-playing. For example, you might have a restaurant set up in your dramatic play area. Children can take orders, they could exchange money, children could illustrate the artwork for the menus. There's a lot. Think about the workings of a restaurant. This student also wrote down that other dramatic play ideas could be setting up a post office, firefighter station, or even a home. Okay? In the game of house, a child can specifically link their part to their real life household. So be thinking. Again, when dramatic play, just a side note, when you're doing dramatic play, you really want to involve children in the development of that area, the props, the signage, the clothing that might be involved. This student went on and said it helps children link a game that they are playing and to help them play that role from what their experiences are with that person. For example, if a child chooses to pick the mom, the child will begin and start acting out. This parent will be nurturing, requesting orders because that's what they receive, And it's a fun way, again, to connect real life to the classroom. This is an example. Use your own words, and again, go back and think about your own experiences, not only personally and professionally, but when I say personally, think about your own childhood. What's an idea that sparks back? Okay, so let's go back up. Circle time, dramatic play, the art area, the science area, outside, and also during lunch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and your subdomain may be helpful to bring that subdomain down, self-concept. And throughout this worksheet, you want to keep your DELFs open. Okay, so click into that link, open it up, choose which subdomain of the 3, read across, right? Start to brainstorm some ideas as you read the DELFs, social, emotional, subdomain, choose one. Read this information. It's a good investment of time because it's going to spark ideas for you. And then you're going to scroll down and you're going to actually complete the rest of the worksheet. Just a reminder that this is a video review of the lesson plan development specific to the ELFs. There is also a blank document under this submission site. So open this up. Hopefully you've watched the video. You've opened the document as well to follow along, and then open that blank one and use that. You're going to save it as a Word document in that format, and that's what you're posting. We hope that this was really helpful information, and certainly if you have any questions, don't forget to contact a classmate or your instructor.